An empire of unimaginable scale once commanded the known world. From the Pacific Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea, the Mongol war machine conquered everything in its path, seizing the riches of entire civilizations. Yet one legendary prize, a treasure so vast it could have funded armies for decades, vanished without a trace. This is the lost hoard of the Naiman tribe, a mystery of gold and power that defied history's greatest conquerors. By the end of this, you will understand the full, epic story of this treasure, from its desperate concealment to the modern hunt using satellites and science. We will explore why the Mongols, masters of intelligence and plunder, failed to find it, and uncover the clues that suggest it might still be hidden. What does it take for something so valuable to disappear forever? The ground itself seemed to tremble under the thunder of a million hooves. In the early 13th century, Genghis Khan forged the scattered tribes of the steppe into a single, terrifying war machine, an unstoppable force that consumed nations. One of the last great powers standing against his dream of a unified Mongol empire was the Naiman Confederation, a sophisticated kingdom rich from controlling vital trade routes. Their leader, Tayang Khan, commanded a formidable army, yet he could not withstand the storm gathering on the horizon. When the two forces finally clashed, the battle was swift and brutal. The Naiman army was shattered, and Tayang Khan himself fell, his reign and his resistance ending on that bloody field. But this military defeat was only the beginning of a deeper mystery. As their world collapsed, the Naiman royal court executed a desperate final plan. They gathered their immense royal treasury, a fortune built over generations from Silk Road taxes and tributes from lesser tribes, and they hid it. They chose a location so secret, so remote, that it would vanish from all known records. The Mongols, infamous for their systematic and ruthless plunder, swept over the conquered Naiman lands. They interrogated survivors, they scoured the palaces and camps, but they found nothing. The greatest treasure of one of their most powerful rivals had simply disappeared. This was an unprecedented failure for Genghis Khan's intelligence network. Their inability to locate this specific prize instantly elevated the Naiman hoard to a legendary status, a ghost of gold that haunts the history of the world's greatest empire. While the Mongol armies celebrated their victory, one figure slipped away from the carnage. Kuchlug, the son of the fallen Tayang Khan, refused to surrender his birthright or his father's legacy. His escape marked the beginning of a new chapter in this saga, transforming a military defeat into a decades-long mystery. Kuchlug did not merely flee, he embarked on an epic journey westward, a prince in exile with a terrible secret burning in his memory. He eventually reached the empire of the Karakhittans, and through cunning and ambition, he did not just find refuge there, he seized its throne. From this new seat of power, Kuchlug continued his defiance, ruling as a persistent thorn in the side of the Mongol Empire. More importantly, he became the living guardian of his people's greatest secret. The location of the Naiman royal treasury was now a knowledge carried by a king, a secret that gave him both a purpose and a target on his back. So what exactly was this fortune he was protecting? The legends describe more than simple piles of gold and silver, though there was certainly an unimaginable amount of that. This was the accumulated wealth of a kingdom that controlled the Silk Road, a collection of priceless religious artifacts crafted from precious metals, exquisite jade carvings, and gems sourced from across Asia. It was a hoard that represented the very soul and power of the Naiman people. Our primary window into this mystery comes from ancient texts like the secret history of the Mongols. These sources confirm the treasure's existence and its disappearance, yet they frustratingly provide no clear directions to its resting place. They tell us the what and the why, but never the where. This deliberate omission, whether to protect the secret or because the knowledge was lost, created a historical cold case that has tantalized hunters and historians for nearly 800 years. Genghis Khan's frustration must have been immense. His scouts, the finest trackers on the steppe, fanned out across the Altai Mountains, questioning every captured noble and soldier. They sought any whisper, any slip of the tongue that might reveal where the Naiman treasure was buried, yet the land, vast and silent, gave up no secrets. The Mongols' initial search was as thorough as it was ruthless, and its failure cemented the legend. For centuries after, the trail grew cold, preserved only in local folklore passed down by Kyrgyz and Kazakh herders. They spoke of accursed gold, a fortune so great it was hidden in the depths of a sacred mountain lake or sealed within a remote valley, protected by spirits that guarded the old kingdom's soul. Then in the 19th century, a new wave of hunters arrived, explorers and archaeologists from Tsarist Russia and later the Soviet Union began to piece together the puzzle. They scoured medieval texts, including cryptic references in Tibetan manuscripts that spoke of a great Western hoard. These clues were fragments, a scattered constellation of points on a map that refused to form a clear picture. The quest had evolved from a military objective to an academic obsession. Today, the search has entered a new era, blending ancient myth with cutting-edge science. Researchers now use satellite imagery to scan vast, inaccessible stretches of the Altai, looking for unnatural geometric shapes or soil disturbances invisible from the ground. Ground-penetrating radar offers the potential to see beneath the earth without lifting a single shovel. Historical geographers cross-reference old caravan routes and geological data with those persistent folktales, trying to pinpoint the one valley, the one lake shore, that matches all the criteria. This is no longer just a treasure hunt. It is a high-tech archaeological detective story. The lost hoard of the Naiman has defied the world's greatest empire and centuries of seekers. What hidden flaw in the legend, or what crucial piece of evidence, have we all been missing? So why has this legendary treasure stayed hidden for 800 years? The first and most formidable obstacle is the land itself. The Altai and Sayan mountain ranges form a natural fortress of staggering scale, a wilderness of jagged peaks, deep river gorges, and vast, silent forests. Imagine searching for a single, unmarked hole in an area spanning hundreds of thousands of square miles, where a landslide can reshape an entire valley in minutes or a spring flood can reroute a river. This terrain does not simply hide secrets, it actively erases them. A cache buried in the 13th century could now lie under tons of rock or at the bottom of a lake that did not even exist when the Naimans fled. The sheer, unforgiving geography makes any systematic search a monumental, almost impossible task, even with our modern technology. Then there is the human factor, a secret sealed by loyalty and time. Kuchlug and his most trusted followers carried the location in their memories, a burden they likely took to their graves. When Kuchlug was finally hunted down and killed by the Mongols, that living map was shattered. Any written records, perhaps a simple map on silk or instructions carved into a stone, would have been among the most dangerous objects to possess. They were probably destroyed to protect the secret or simply crumbled into dust over the centuries, lost to decay. The knowledge died with its keepers, turning a physical treasure into a ghost story whispered across generations. But perhaps the most intriguing theory is that the treasure was never meant to be found in one grand cinematic vault. What if Kuchlug's plan was not to preserve a single hoard, but to ensure his people's survival? The royal wealth could have been divided into many smaller caches, hidden in dozens of locations across the mountains. This would have provided funds for his loyalists to live on, to bribe officials, or to raise new armies from the shadows. Alternatively, local tribespeople might have stumbled upon parts of the treasure over the centuries, slowly circulating the gold and gems into the economy without anyone realizing its epic origin. A golden cup melted down here, a few jewels traded for supplies there, until the legendary hoard simply dissolved back into the world, leaving no single pile of gold for anyone to find. This possibility means the treasure might be both everywhere and nowhere, a legend that faded not because it was hidden, but because it was quietly spent. 8 centuries have passed since the Naiman kingdom fell, yet the legend of its treasure has proven more durable than the empire that sought to crush it. This is an epic that spans from the chaos of a lost battle to the quiet persistence of folklore, outliving Genghis Khan's dominion and transforming into a permanent question mark in the annals of history. The continued hunt for this hoard speaks to something deep within us, a fascination with stories that remain unfinished and riches that defy possession. It is the allure of a puzzle that the world's greatest conquerors could not solve, a testament to the idea that some secrets are buried not just in earth, but in time itself. So where does this leave us today, with our satellites and our ground-penetrating radar? The ultimate fate of the Naiman treasure is a mystery that now belongs to you. Do you believe it remains intact, a silent king's ransom nestled in some forgotten mountain crevice, waiting for a single lucky step to reveal it? Or has time and nature already claimed it, the gold scattered and melted away until only the story remains? The search is as much about the legend as it is about the metal. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Share your own theory on where it might be hidden, or which modern technology, from artificial intelligence analyzing old texts to new forms of subsurface imaging, you believe could finally break this 800-year-old case. If you enjoyed this journey into one of history's greatest enduring mysteries, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us as we continue to explore the lost wonders of our world.